The roadblock that comes with Republicans is the fact that the rise of Donald Trump and similar Republicans in his orbit, leading to the uprooting and blockage ability of this rather beach body built child trafficking
Double kill.
was weird enough for everyone to believe he had made the woohoo with a couch.
Triple kill.
Forever sucking off Trump.
Overkill.
His son knows when he masturbates.
Pentakill.
Doesn't know why his skin color and last name made him a non-starter.
Kill-tacular.
And no one likes you, not even your own family group.
Kill-trocity.
Ever since Joe Biden dropped out and Kamala Harris became the Democratic presidential nominee, there has been a sort of high going through the party and its voters, and many polls have shown that she is doing pretty well compared to him. But I said this before in a video on the DNC. People who are going to vote for Biden regardless are going to do the same for Kamala. Her being a woman or black has absolutely nothing to do with it. I mean, sure, some Republicans have remarked about it, but Hillary crawled into a wall so Kamala could walk into one. Trump's rhetoric, misinformation, idiocracy, and narcissism are nothing new to any of us. All politicians give red herring rhetoric, and all politicians give misinformation to varying degrees. So many politicians, despite some being smart, possess and use a great deal of idiocracy. And after one term, no politician is immune from the narcissism that comes with wearing a suit every day to work and voting on whether a little Gazan kid dies from starvation or burning alive in a tent. But before Donald Trump threw away the dog whistles and just began being outright with things, that was normally grounds for not only political death, but outright ostracization from even their circles within society. Well, not rich circles, because most of them are demons anyways.
Demons!
And, they worship the almighty demon known as Green, and they would understand. Example numero uno. Alex Jones.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that?
It's giving batshit crank for me. This red man who was caught looking at transgender adult films was a heavy transphobe, practically a racist. No, he literally is a racist. Believed they were turning the frogs gay.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that?
Oh, and did I mention that he believed everything about Sandy Hook and other school shootings was a lie?
You are made of stupid.
That is the most expensive lie I've ever seen in my fucking life. Not many people actually know of Alex Jones, or at least not many knew of him existing before January 6th. And Donald Trump's presidency before that. Why? Because Alex Jones was left to the small corner of society of people who weren't allowed to participate in the wider spread of things. Or if we are being real, they were just too stupid to participate. These people brought untested or unregulated dietary supplements from him right after he would say that Hillary Clinton was running a child ring out of a pizza parlor, or that Robert Mueller, the guy who looks like he is always 10 seconds away from telling you that you can't handle the truth, was somehow a pedo.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Trump's arrival and his revolution of the acceptable level of a politician's nuttiness allowed Alex Jones to expand his empire greatly. Did I mention he was involved in January 6th? Like a legit organizer and planner on the ground.
Oh my God!
Jail. People actually believed Alex Jones. His lawsuits against him based on the Sandy Hook shootings are because his listeners were harassing the victims of that tragedy, showing up to the homes of parents of the deceased victims and calling them paid actors, and in a few cases, legit people straight up threatening them to varying degrees of harm. This radicalization has happened on the opposite side as well.
What in heaven's name are you talking about?
Bernie Sanders in 2016 announced to the world and all across the campaign trail leading up to the Democratic convention about how he was running for president and his ideas and plans, progressive and populist ideals like universal health care, paid leave for families, changes to the Fed and campaign finance to remove big money influence, and conquering the income and wealth inequality gap. He was a Democratic socialist wolf in a field of moderate Democrats wearing conservative sheep's clothing.
I'm not kidding, bro. I'm not kidding.
He got 46% of the pledged delegate votes and could possibly have won the nomination had his supporters deadlocking not caused the panic in the party leadership, resulting in them presenting him with the rights to get his plate first at next Thanksgiving in exchange for him essentially stepping back.
We go from Brooklyn to Vermont by car. Mostly it was by car.
Bernie Sanders was the first politician I looked up to with genuine admiration, and his campaign essentially turned me into a socialist.
Awooga.
Why are you gay?
His campaign and ideals inspired many others, and he walked so AOC, Maxwell Frost, Ilhan Omar, and countless others could jog. And that there is the problem. The biggest problem Harris will face, in my opinion, is the awakening of radicalization on the right and the left. Shocker, I know.
All right, kids, this better be good. I was in the forest wrestling with a bear claw when we got the call.
Now I know you're probably thinking, how in the hell is the radicalization of the left a problem for Kamala in your mind? Minx, you're a socialist. You're someone hoping to further push others to the left of the political spectrum so they can leave the old and tired middle-of-the-road Democrats, most of whom are so damn old that they were in the first crowds to hear the Declaration of Independence being read out. Most progressive Democrats, especially those who are social democrats, like myself, in the aspects of my voting, are young. We are short title readers and quick run listeners. We have too much going on in our own world, from paying rent, worrying about student loans and whether we can get a job within 5 years of leaving college that can satisfy our economic needs, whether we have enough savings to endure one medical issue, let alone two, managing our mental issues, extensive drug use to simply comfort ourselves in the chaotic world we live in, and the fact that we know there isn't anything left on the plate for us. In 2022, according to pewresearch.org, young voters made up a smaller share of the electorate than they did in 2018. In 2022, 36% of voters were under 50. Compared with 40% of voters in 2018. Decreased turnout among these more reliable Democratic voters contributed to the GOP's better performance in November. Older voters turned out more reliably in both elections and continued to be largely loyal to the Republican Party. Now, I understand that 2022 was a midterm. The arrival of the red wave conservatives we're talking about, well, it didn't happen, thankfully. But the margins all across the board were close. I mean, we had to rely on Republicans picking the shittiest possible nutcases like Herschel Walker in order to guarantee Warnock's victory. And even then, it was still close and ran to a runoff.
That was a close one.
These margins are so close and these races are so tenuous because the baby boomers, and I hate to say this because I myself still have one grandmother and an uncle of that generation, they are dying off. And Generation X, despite their time coming, still aren't in power, and even then, they are smaller in comparison to millennials. By the way, Kamala Harris is technically a baby boomer. Yeah, she was born in 1964.
But at the same time, like I said, and me, I'm 56 years old.
Damn!
So from now on, whenever she says something I don't believe or find to be bullshit, she's just getting an okay boomer. Because some memes and trolls shouldn't die. And if you got a problem with that, it's better than fucking skippity-dippity-doo, and if you aren't subscribed, you definitely can't offer a valid opinion.
Gotcha, bitch!
This ain't no democracy on this channel. The Logic Gang is mine and I am the boss. Instead of the Godfather, call me the God and Goddess of Logic. Because I confused this one commenter, and that made me super happy, and I'm fishing for more confusion. So subscribe. Many Americans are tired, and not to delegitimize the concerns of many Republicans, but I don't often get the chance to talk to them. Only observe them in their natural habitat of a Cabela's parking lot, or driving around in the worst vehicle ever produced, or losing in divorce court. I'm kidding. Or am I? But many Americans live in cities, and where a large number of the Democrats are, they are exhausted beyond belief. Sit down and truly think about it. When was the last time they were legit hopeful, full of unity, and possibilities seemed endless in this country? And don't you dare say Obama.
Okay.
Motherfucker, with his sweet tone of speak and stutter, has no power here anymore.
He doesn't. Do not boo. Vote.
Fuck, he does. Okay, but that time I am talking about didn't happen during him. No, that time was essentially right before the campaigning season of Bush v. Gore.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Where Florida proceeded to fuck the entire country, and Jeb Bush likely said this:
I think the next president needs to be a lot quieter, but send a signal that we're prepared to act in the national security interests of this country to get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
To his daddy to get his approval. Then George proceeded to jump over him again by launching war against Iraq. Two things you can take away from that: Florida sucks. It really, really sucks. And Jeb Bush is a baby back.
Please clap.
So it's been since around the year of our Lord 2000 that this country has felt like it was on the turn for good, that the air was fresh, potential was endless, racism was something that was shied away from to a quote-unquote acceptable degree, and there was avenues for change. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't hell either. Kamala has no more Kool-Aid to give. A growing voter base of progressive voters. 62 million millennials out there, and sit down and really think to yourself, if you are a millennial, how many people around your age do you know are Democrats, and how many do you know are Republican? 7 out of 10 for the Democrats. But remember, where I read that quote, that said 36% showed up in 2022. Yes, it's a midterm. Yes, young people historically don't vote much in those. But remember, everything that has happened since, and tell me if you think moderate millennial voters will be turning out in large numbers again, just because she is a woman, or because Donald Trump is, well, a leaning tower of pizza with a Project 2025 and a conservative chicken Supreme Court ready to help him install his own autocracy. She might get in there this time around, but think about this. Gen Z is on the approach to entering voting ages fully, and they are 22.3% LGBTQ+. Millennials are the most educated generation in history and make up 22% of the workforce, and are experiencing the issues of inflation and pay not being on the same scale. Someone keeps bringing up in NATO like it's freaking 1984. Women have to die slowly before they can get the abortion they need in some states, regardless of their age or reason for being pregnant. And college campuses across the country were filled with protests against the genocide, not war, genocide happening in Gaza. She, of course, will likely tackle the abortion issue. I have no doubt in that. But she has already seemed pretty standard fare on Gaza with support for Israel. She is brought up having a strong elite military, or whatever the hell she said during the convention.
As Commander-in-Chief, I will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world.
What? Everybody and their mother is curious about those price controls she wants to implement. And holy hell, she has to convince the undecided for varying valid reasons to vote for her. And it's September 21st, 2024 at time of writing this video. Some states already have early voting ballots starting their rollout. In essence, she has a lot of people on the left in different levels of radicalization and single issue voting blocks to please. And historically, the past 4 presidents haven't been able to get much done during their tenures except war, cutting Social Security, tax cuts, or support for the rich, watered down job packages, stacking the Supreme Court battles, and I don't know, continuing to support a literal genocidal apartheid state.
I'm a bad cat. That dog just don't know. I'm gonna get him. When I get done with this paper, I'm gonna get him when he's asleep. I'm gonna get that dog. That dog crazy, man. You better watch out for that dog.
I have cooked on the left, time to turn to the right. But before I do, don't forget to check the oven and subscribe.
Gotcha, bitch!
If I got you twice, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks. And loves you. Even the person in the comment section of the last video giving me Bible verses, or the other one telling me to repent, or that one guy saying to renew my tampon's prescription. Ha. I love you all, and it's okay to laugh at the guy, but don't be a dick and harass him. I handled that. So what is the roadblock that comes with the right? Another possible run against Trump in 4 years, where he is somehow more orange?
No means no.
A justice dying near the end of her first term, and a Republican saying she can't appoint a new justice because they want to, and Daddy Trump said he might win.
I'm gonna come.
God, no. Oh, I know. A collective worldwide ban on the Mariah Carey Christmas song that has already begun to thaw as of recording of this video, and this ban will lead to world peace, and the new Star Trek-inspired United Nations is formed as the sole government, and she will not be able to run again, right? That's gotta be it, right?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
What the fuck? I only had 2 mixed drinks before I started writing this script. Anyways, the roadblock that comes with Republicans is the fact that the rise of Donald Trump and similar Republicans in his orbit, leading to the uprooting and blockage ability of this rather beach body-built child trafficking
Double kill.
was weird enough for everyone to believe he had made the woohoo with a couch.
Triple kill.
Forever sucking off Trump.
Overkill.
His son knows when he masturbates.
Pentakill.
Doesn't know why his skin color and last name made him a non-starter.
Kill-tacular.
And no one likes you, not even your own family group.
Kill-trocity.
So I have a harming influence on the return of the standard fare for the Republican Party. This is leading to a civil war that just might collapse the party. Hopefully. I mean, many Republican hardliners of old are hoping to support Kamala Harris or just denounce Donald Trump. His own VP wouldn't do the thing he had no legal authority to do anyway, as his former position is now just ceremonial. Now that sounds like me saying there is doom and gloom coming for Republicans, and rays and sunshine for Democrats, as they essentially will become the sole party in America. Stop fantasizing about what you might think is heaven, and wake up to the fact that Democrats pretty much suck a decent bit less than Republicans, but they still suck nonetheless. I am not saying that the Republican Party is doomed. Well, I am. But I am saying that doom is a result of a right-wing radicalization culture shift that has happened all across America. Remember earlier when I said all that stuff about Alex Jones?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that?
And how his listeners and loyal dietary supplement purchasers had gone so far that they were completely comfortable and maybe even drove hours and hours to insult victims of tragedy or parents of those whose lives were cut short just because they were too far gone. That is the roadblock, the big problem for Kamala Harris from the right. She likely can't please the left by fixing enough problems in the first term, and the left has millennial wants and Gen X wants, and that is a lot of variation between those two groups. But the right is no longer the leaking Pandora's box. No, the box is open.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Shit! No!
And the lesson of that story is that once it is open, you can never go back. Hitler was defeated 79 years ago, and neo-Nazis are out there. They've launched attempted coups and started conflict while attempting to use the First Amendment as a shield, despite coming to protest with riot shields and clubs. Our military is struggling with right-wing thinking taking over. They are carrying out mass shootings because right-wing grifters play further into their radicalization. And I can't say this enough. Divorce court is a breeding ground for these guys. The radical right-wing is fascist. Don't think anything otherwise. The rich fools that have led them down this road will drop them the moment it is profitable. But right now, it's very profitable. So much so that one right-wing grifter who is secretly bi, and we don't talk about that enough,
Mr. Hyde rearing his ugly bisexual head. That was a short face.
Here I come. Was abusive mentally to his pregnant wife and turning down $50 million because he didn't want to be held responsible for having the worst attempt at a black voice I have ever heard.
Yeah, most happy about the new policy. These people. So, yeah. I'm gonna buy a plow, man. I'm gonna plant that corn. Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, mother. I'm the president of plowing that head.
Like, seriously, what the fuck is that? So the constant stringing out of this radicalization is going to keep going, and that radicalization is going to continue to add delusional members to the different sects of MAGA. And if the military is having a political conscience problem, and races that should be gotcha wins are turning into close races each time, then imagine these guys being pushed to the edge again. Imagine these guys getting a split Congress, or majority. Imagine what the right-wingers might do if Donald doesn't accept the election results again. Imagine if MAGA doesn't shrink enough once Trump is fully done with politics, and as a result, Nazis are still playing ball in Congress. Imagine your neighbor seeing you put up a rainbow flag and considering from then on that you want to trans their kids. Imagine discovering you're trans and no longer being able to gain access to medical care for that issue, because guys who beat it to you have to openly wish eradication of you. Imagine any one of Project 2025's talking points working and everyone becoming a homeschooled kid, which, not taking shots at homeschooling, but parents, do you have the time or mental space in between your 3 jobs to also teach your kid the Pythagorean theorem after Project 2025 gets rid of the education department? Imagine the amount of mass shootings and racist incidents rising and continuing. Imagine these a-holes eliminating your union chances and forcing trickle-down economics even further down your throat. I hope you trickle down to hell, Ronald Reagan. Imagine hearing that Haitians are eating cats and dogs and somehow the broad stroke claim that all Hispanics are Mexicans and taking your jobs doesn't go away. You don't have to imagine this because this is the level of radicalization countless of your fellow Americans and some Canadians,
I'm sorry, but I cannot fix this problem for you,
are at. That's them on a small restraint being held in place by already stretched to the limit people in the middle and opposing sides. And if they put Trump in jail during her possible presidency, she will have to deal with the level of rioting without purpose that the UK recently dealt with. And they have a Labour Party Prime Minister. And for those not in the know, the Labour Party is the sort of UK's Diet Socialist Democratic Party.
It is only rock and roll.
According to an ABC News Ipsos poll, 17% of adults polled said they are not prepared to accept the outcome of November's presidential election. And that may not seem like a lot because it's less than a quarter, but it's more than an empty wallet, and that is one too many fascist neo-Nazis in any society and a recipe for serious conflict across all levels of society. They say that the presidency is one hell of a job, and many of those coming out after just one term look considerably more tired than they did before. Kamala is facing the need to please so many groups in comparison to her predecessors. If she wins, that I don't envy her at all, but that still doesn't mean I won't hold her ass accountable, and you shouldn't stop either, because that is the job.